Okay, and we are back. I'm Rodrigo Torres,
I'm David Straub.
and we're going to talk about photography today and continue our series of photography talks. And I think you have something for us to start with.
Sure. Oh, I'll get started with classic 20th century photography. And this is a book of Henri Cartier-Bresson, who was one of the most influential photographers of the mid 20th century, French guy. And uh, he was a master of really of composition and
Yeah,
adding the human element in there. This is just to show you a couple of samples. He really just
wow.
is quite remarkable.
Is that ice or snow?
That is, I know it's actually, they're laying out, it's India, and they're laying out cloth to dry in, they're dyeing cloth
Oh,
and laying,
wow.
there's a group of women who are laying out I guess, to dry in the air.
Oh, wow. And I remember, I think that you had a picture or two when we were looking at the historical pictures by him.
Okay,
He's the capture the decisive moment guy, right?
correct. Yeah, uh, he was very famous for using a Leica camera. He used one lens. He
Wow. Oh
didn't mess
wow.
around,
Oh
but
wow.
he really mastered it. He had
Wow.
he had news photography. This was in the aftermath of World War II. There's a woman being confronted by her collaboration with the Germans.
Oh geez. Wow.
So it's
That's
really
intense.
just master black and white photography. Really,
Right. Right. Oh yeah, I remember in one of the books we looked at last time there was a boy holding a wine bottle with a smile on his face.
okay.
Walking back, I think, from the store, very, very content, I think, with, um, yeah.
Oh, oh, this is a nice one. This is a prison
Oh my
photo.
gosh. Wow.
Really, a
Wow.
lot of. It really engages human interest uh, in scenes.
It looks like a very mo modern picture.
Right, yeah, he is really a
What
modern guy.
what years was he doing his thing?
I see it was 40s, 50s, 30s.
Okay.
So like really 35 millimeter photography got popular during the 1930s with the introduction of the Leica camera. That was a real breakthrough. So it was very portable and
Oh. So it's smaller
very
than previous.
small. Uh-huh.
Leica, how do you spell Leica?
Leica.
Oh, Leica, right.
Or
Was that a
Ernst, Ernst
German?
Leitz. Yeah.
Sorry?
Ernst Leitz is the name of the company that makes the Leica. Leitz is the name of the company, and their camera was the Leica Lights camera.
Ah,
So it's very pivotal camera. Really was it was the beginning of modern photography. Really,
wow. And when you said that he only used one lens, tell me more about the significance of that, because as somebody
well,
who's not a photographer,
right?
I,
Well,
I
you
don't
can
I don't know what that. what that tells me.
Most cameras you can change lenses on it. So you can have a telephoto lens, which brings things far away, much closer, or a wide angle lens, which you can see way far. The peripheral, it really extends. Um, Very popular is the zoom lenses, where
Mm.
where you can shift between, choose your
Oh,
angle.
right. Focal length, right.
A telephoto lens is a very narrow focal width and a wide angle. So back up for a 35 millimeter camera, a 135 lens would be a telephoto lens. What they call a normal lens would be a 50 millimeter lens, and a 30 millimeter, 20 millimeter would be a wide angle. So that uh, those will introduce telephoto and wide angle, introduce more distortion into
Mm,
affects the depth of field and the field of focus, obviously. So a normal lens is the closest approximation to what you would see with just your eyes.
I see. And so, and that's the lens that he used then.
Yeah,
And
and you can.
so, go ahead.
Yeah, it's the camera I use is this. This is
Okay,
a this is a compact camera, so it's all so it has wide angle. I can adjust the zoom,
right.
so I can take a picture of that. Um, oh, okay, my memory card is full, so I can't take any more pictures.
Oh no, you have to change the role.
Change the card or
Yeah,
download all my pictures. That's what I got to do.
right.
Changing the roll is old technology.
Yeah, yeah,
Film, which is not, it still has their followers. People who like, it's the same principle as the people who like vinyl records as opposed to digital recordings.
sure. Yeah,
They both have their place.
or in movies, the 35 millimeter movies versus the digital. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's today's character to introduce him.
Nice. Thank you.
And you look enough for his pictures and you get, oh, wow, it's really possible to see things differently.
Uh-huh.
He has a very personal style.
Yeah, it's so interesting that a photographer can have a style where you look at a picture and you're like, oh, that's, that's that photographer. And just kind of,
Yeah, it's again like music. It's like you hear a type of music and you say, oh, that's
right,
it's the Beatles.
you
Or it's
recognize it. Yeah,
the Beatles sound,
right,
or Beethoven, or Bach,
right.
Beethoven, and the Beatles. Different, but they were using the same tools of sound. And it's
Totally.
the same with light, using cameras.
Right. Although in some cases the tools are a clue to the style because they're like for example this Leica picture probably has its um produces it that or let me ask instead of framing that as a statement, let me ask it as a question. Does the camera affect something in the picture that you would be able to tell? Like if you took pictures with one camera versus another one,
Yeah.
and then you put them side by side, would there be aspects that would be different due to the camera that's being used?
Yeah, yeah, true. Basically, it's Different lenses have different characteristics. A wide
Ah,
angle lens will have a massive focal focus range, whereas a telephoto lens is very specific. You can you have to focus very carefully on what you're seeing
right. But
and depth of field
right. So
control.
you could tell what type of lens, but let's say two brands of cameras both have telephoto lenses.
Right.
If you take the two pictures with the telephoto lenses, can you tell would there be a difference in the picture in the pictures or not? The camera doesn't really is not that um, evident in the print then.
Well, it's pretty subtle if you're doing the same kind of camera, uh, the same focal length. It's hard to tell.
It would
Uh,
right.
I mean, that's when very high quality optics
Uh,
comes into play.
do
Uh,
the do
Cheap lens will not look as nice and sharp and crisp as a Leica lens. Leicas are
oh
famous for their high quality
so that's where the difference is in the lenses.
lenses. Is very important. Yeah,
I see. And so the different brands, do they
have different lenses, different.
manufacture their own? Oh, interesting. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that.
yeah.
Okay, so that's something when you're buying a camera, that's something to know is the quality of the lens that
Very, very
manufacturer.
important. Yeah, that's
Ah,
critical. You have to get
okay.
good quality lens.
Right. Very,
The
very
Germans were very good at optics. They were,
right. So Leica is German.
yeah. In World War II, there was the Russians were coming from the east and the Allies were coming from the west, and they were trying to capture the facilities so they would have the machinery to make quality optics,
Right. Very cool.
not just for cameras, because it's used for binoculars and which were very
Oh,
important in warfare, and
right.
periscopes and submarines. So those are all done with lenses.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that. And well, I also, I guess, telescopes, but that's not so much
Yeah,
used
it's the
in
same
war.
thing. It's the same.
Yeah.
Well, a telephoto lens is really is a telescope.
Oh,
You see
wow.
that, when you see that with photographs of the moon or something like that, you can
Right.
see it.
Right.
I'm talking about,
And that goes back to during the Renaissance where that really, I mean, the invention of the telescope really changed astronomy from
correct, yeah.
uh
Oh, they invented it
radically. Yeah. Well,
radically.
no, there was
Oh, you're
astronomy,
right.
yeah, before that.
Expanded the understanding.
Yeah, and yeah, it revolutionized it.
And
Uh,
then when you apply the lens to the camera obscura, you can reduce the size of the camera obscura. It doesn't have to be a whole
uh,
room anymore. It
room.
could be a box with a small lens on it.
Oh, wow.
Principle.
So was that around the same time that those lenses became
Leonardo,
available and started to change, really revolutionize
yeah, the
these?
17th, 16th centuries. Yeah,
Wow.
of Leonardo and trying to
And
think who was Christian Huygens was a Dutch guy.
oh yeah. Yeah, astronomer.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
and a lot of
go ahead.
being able to track. You need a fine instrument to be able to track movements of stars and really chart them.
Yeah, and really change how our entire view of our relationship to the cosmos.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. The uh um yeah, we were the center of the universe, right? And then we're like, oh,
Oh
we're
no,
not the
oh no,
center anymore.
nope. Getting
Yeah,
farther and farther from the center.
right. Yeah, yeah. And so th this really was a change in the manufacture of glass, right? And
That's yes. So it's a technological breakthrough, being able to consistently make high quality glass and to be able to shape it.
right, and
Just,
give it
you know,
a curvature.
correct. Yeah. You know, who was a lens maker was Baruch Spinoza.
Oh, right.
He was by profession. He wasn't a philosopher because can't make a living as a philosopher, generally speaking, particularly when you were
Right. Yeah,
out of the
yeah.
mainstream.
Yeah, yeah. And he's
He was a lens grinder. So it was a very specialized trade and continues to, you know, today is still a highly specialized trade. When you get your glasses made,
yeah,
boom.
right. Yeah, I've always been interested in, and I've never seen anything on this, but I think that the introduction of glasses is probably is a shift in also in society and in um like if you see pictures of previous ages,
Yeah.
I guess
I
were
mean,
was what you would see people uh without glasses, right? The when the daguerreotype came in, there's probably very few
they
glasses,
were,
or
well,
there was
glasses
some.
were, oh yeah, they were in
Okay,
use.
but okay, so yeah, if you look at then forget pictures, if you look at paintings of people, you would see a shift
Correct.
from before BG and AG, right? Before glasses and after glasses.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's so pervasive that I think it's like a it would be a way to you could almost whatchamacallit, um determine a photograph's if there's a painting with someone with glasses, it would have to have come after glasses were a
Right. In the
thing.
18th century, really
Yeah.
became
Yeah,
more common.
and how impactful glasses are in my life.
Oh
Like,
man,
yeah. Can you imagine being alive in a time when there was no glasses and then you just lose your eyesight and you can't
you wouldn't be able to read anymore
read? Yeah.
or do
Yeah.
fine work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And, of course, that would, you know, they say that El Greco had was the basis of his paintings was that he had eye problems. That's one of the theories.
Oh, wow.
And he was really before glasses were
Right. Yeah,
commonly known.
good point. Yeah, that would also maybe
Affects your perspective, certainly.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that also makes me think of Beethoven, right? Who started to go deaf at the at
Yeah.
near the time where he was, I guess, the last of his compositions. Um, so, oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention was Spinoza, um, his book on ethics, um, and his philosophy about the idea of God being not like the Christian monotheistic God, but still kind of a monad, one sort of emanation, that everything emanates from this sort of um, deity was referenced by Einstein when he was asked if he believed if Einstein believed in God, and he said, I believe in Spinoza's God. Uh,
Uh,
so it kind of ties as a kind of a tying together of the of Spinoza being a lens maker, and then astronomy and Einstein's influence on astronomy, and there's a connection I hadn't thought about. So thanks for reminding me about that. Um,
how we see the world.
yeah, how we see the world. I like it. And on that note, let's see how you see the world. Let
Oh, okay. Nice segue.
yeah, we have a series of pictures that are fresh baked pictures, and
Okay.
I wanted to kind of tie our talk today also on these pictures back to last week where we were discussing the elements of photography or visual design, which include light, contrast of dark and light, which we see here very evidently, pattern, which we see here again, texture, which is we see here, scale, um, line, shape. So yeah, I think that speaking of those elements and what we see in these pictures might be interesting.
True. Yeah. Well, it's very good.
So let me move this uh, thing out of the way. Okay. So yes, pattern here. These are a set of steps,
Correct. Yeah. It's
concrete.
right. I think it's a work in progress, I believe.
Ah,
We're getting ready to put some veneer on that. Some. This is a very brownstone neighborhood, very traditional neighborhood.
you see brownstone steps. And these you're taking these pictures on your walk, right?
Correct. Yeah. Walking around.
Yeah. And then the shadows also are interesting. The light and dark shadows on the steps.
Yeah. I was happy. I made me happy.
Yeah, yeah, it's wonderful. Very geometric.
That's that's how I judge a picture. Does it make me happy?
Nice. I like that.
Does it make other people happy?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great measure. Okay, let's see. Mm. Oh, is that
I'm
uh
monochromatic here.
uh I think I'm going out of order. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Let me whoops. I am lost. Okay, there we go. That's the right order.
Okay.
So this
Oh,
is
yeah. Very typical where I live in Brooklyn. Got a snowy day. It was cold.
yeah.
So what I was really trying to do was to try and express temperature in my photographs, which I don't think I really succeeded in. except that you can see snow.
Right. Yeah, you mentioned that at the end of last time, that trying to take a picture of something that would convey cold.
I'm still working on that.
Okay. So yeah, here we have an alleyway and we have the lines of the, well, multiple sets of
Different planes,
lines. Yeah, you
uh,
can see
different
the,
planes.
right, the lines that go off to the vanishing point diagonally, and then the lines of the gate and the lines of the buildings. It's wonderful.
I like alleys.
Yeah,
This is walking down the street, yeah, looking up. There was just a jet passing by, and the skies are very busy around here.
ah, yeah, it's the contrail.
The cornice of the old house. There's the sun peeping through.
Right. Right. Yeah, I can see the semicircle of the sun.
Kinda, that kind of makes me feel a little cold, but
Yeah,
probably makes a better attempt to portray the cold than the previous one.
right. Yeah, well, I think the blue feels cold.
Oh, yes.
It's very stark contrast here in light and dark. Strong diagonal.
Winter light's very, it's different from summer light.
Mm.
Quite,
Yeah,
quite, yeah.
is there more yellow in summer light? I want to think. I don't know if that's true or
I'm not sure.
hmm,
We'll have to observe that.
right.
Ah,
FDNY.
FDNY, heading up Flatbush Avenue, over by
Ah,
the Apple Store.
ah,
Very busy corner there.
in the gleaming building behind. There's the sun.
Yes, it is.
Definitely a very again, another strong diagonal and kind of a lot happening in the bottom of the picture and not so much on the top half or three quarters.
Right. It goes from static to in motion down at the bottom.
Yeah, very busy.
I don't know. When I take pictures, I don't think about a lot of stuff. I just kind of like
You just
go
right.
into a zone and say, is this going to make me happy? Is it more or less in focus? Does it matter? Is the line straight?
There's a was it Marie Kondo's cleaning philosophy is does it give me joy?
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So let's see. You can go. Whoops. Let's go to the next. Another stoop, looks like.
Detail, yeah. Stoops are they're good.
Yeah,
Very detail.
I can see that.
That's old stuff. There's a lot of there's still very old ironwork around this
Right.
neighborhood.
Wrought iron.
Yep. A lot of it was uh, disappeared in the 1970s and 60s as they renovated buildings or uh, it was a bad period for Brooklyn, and it just came and stole stuff. People would drive trucks around in
Oh
the
my
middle of
gosh.
the night and run off with stoops, with the ironwork.
Wow. Really?
Yeah,
Because it had been removed, or did they actually remove it from the
they would just remove it. They would just take the whole, people
Wow.
get up in the morning and find that their front fence was gone. Oh,
Oh my gosh. Why? Because they could sell it
yep,
somewhere else?
scrap metal,
Oh wow. So they were actually destroying the
right? I mean,
Oh wow.
now they recycle this. They sell this now as art. As you can you can buy old
Mm.
accoutrements. What would I say? What do you call it? There, ironworks for your renovations.
Mm. Yeah, and this reminds me like what this decorative motifs, right?
Yep,
From there's a name that's escaping me, but there was a artist who was known for that.
who was that?
Um I don't it's gone. I'll have to dig out my book on it when I for next time. Cool. So this
Uh,
is a flag at half staff.
right for Jimmy Carter.
Mm, yeah.
Made me happy. That was good.
Yeah.
It did what it was intended to do.
So when you say it makes you happy, do you think it's due to anything specific, or is it just overall something about it makes you happy, but you
I
can't
get an
really
idea that I think I want to try and see.
ah,
I want to try and it's very difficult to shoot flags
right.
because they're always going all over the place or hanging down when and then they're kind of useless. This has got movement in it. It's got the shadow on there,
Yeah. Oh, right.
strong light,
Yes.
strong afternoon light.
Right. Yeah, yeah, because flags you between the time that you see it and the time you press the shutter, it's moved, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because they're just flapping in the wind.
It's like shooting babies, photographing babies.
Right.
Oh yeah, the thrift store.
Thrift store.
I like reflections,
Mm.
like glass and using that.
Yeah, you can see the trees reflected there at the top.
We were talking earlier about Western movies, and John Ford uses reflections often appear in
Oh,
movies. Uh, where there'll be action going on, you see the reflection of somebody's face, like looking out the window, and you can
right.
and you can see the action going on. So it's got a lot of levels there. You got the trees and the reflected trees there, and behind it across the street.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that about John Ford. That's interesting. Three ladies.
Actually, there are four there, I think.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Pretty well lit ones. Nice
Right.
hair.
Yes.
I could have gotten rid of that fourth girl.
Uh, what was the name of that Picasso picture? Mademoiselle d'Avignon.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's the one, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it's Avignon. Is it Avignon or okay, well.
I think.
You got a whole list of things to look up, research, and
I do. Okay.
now this is an earlier picture. That's just on my computer screen. So I'm trying to this is like meta photography here now, I guess you call this
Yeah, a picture of a picture.
the picture. Yes.
Yeah, we
And
saw
like
this picture in a previous
yeah.
talk.
And this is kind of like just looking at my computer.
Yeah, so you set this up as your wallpaper on your computer.
Yes, I did.
So cool. You could almost count the number of rectangles here with yeah, starting with the cassette uh tape rectangle in the well, kind of the
The
bottom
angle,
middle.
the elbows and the knees, the
Oh yeah,
post.
no. Oh, wait. Oh, so I was thinking of like the rectangle. Can you see my cursor?
Yeah,
Okay. So I was thinking of
right. Within there.
this rectangle and then this rectangle is within the rectangle of the boom
Right,
box
right.
is within the rectangle of the picture and then the rectangle of the outer edge of your laptop and then the rectangle of the picture. And
Okay, yeah.
you were so these are I guess you wouldn't call them concentric rectangles because they're not circles. I don't know what you would call them. But you're talking about other rectangles, right? You're talking about like this rectangle.
Yeah. The
Yeah, yeah.
linear stuff going on.
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, and yeah. Nice. Yeah, and we talked about this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a
So
very good reproduction of the picture, but
uh
it gets makes the point.
yeah. Well, I think the your screen
It's covered.
is lit from behind, right?
Correct, yeah.
So your camera is sort of I think
Confused.
that yeah, I think that the light that's coming from externally is kind of fighting with the light that's coming
Right. I was
from
trying to get it. I was trying to get it all,
yes, you were.
and I had to settle for this.
Yeah. Well, I like it. It makes me happy.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, this one is a very dense picture.
Inside of it's looking through the window of empty structure with a reflection behind it, and the light coming through the windows of this building on the floor.
Yeah, when I first saw this picture, I was very confused. I didn't know what I
Good.
was looking at.
Well, that makes me happy.
Yeah, so you're standing outside of a building.
Yeah, large loft building.
Uh, and it looks like the building is completely empty.
Correct. Yeah, it's a new building, and they're not using. I don't know what they're going to do. I have no
Mm,
idea.
mm. And we're seeing two stories of the building, or is it just a
Yeah,
one story that's very high
well, it's one great big
ceiling?
room. One great big. It's all one great big.
Right.
This replaced it was a sail loft. This was over in
Ah,
Brooklyn Navy Yard. They tore down the old building and built a new one in the same kind of style. So
Mm,
it's a huge open space in inside in the high
mm-hmm.
ceiling. It's where they used to make the sails for ships
Oh,
back in the
wow. Oh, wow. And so now it's going to be used for something else.
yeah. Now it's been reconstructed the building, but I have no idea what they're going to do with it.
Mm. And so
It's
we're,
right across, right near the Wegmans, right across from the Wegmans.
oh, Wegmans. We don't have Wegmans out here in
Well, we don't
Northern
need it, but
California.
this is the first Wegman we have in Brooklyn.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
very nice. I like it
Okay.
because it's down in the Navy Yard, which is an interesting place.
Mm. And so we're seeing the windows on the far wall. So
Right.
are you shooting this through a similar window on the near wall?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, kind of like the same one
Lower window.
on the lower left there. You're
Correct. Yeah. The lower
got it.
window. That's right.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Double stair.
And then it's a sunny day, so the what we're seeing, the red that we're seeing is from the building behind you.
Correct. Yeah. That's right next to an older building.
And then we have the vines of it looks like dried up vines on the wall of the red wall behind you. And the next picture is that wall. And
Yeah.
so much texture in this picture.
Makes you kind of ill. Yes.
I didn't think that, but
Disorienting.
disorienting, yes. Well, yeah, it's such a close up that you have no sort of reference to what am I looking at?
Right. So scale is kind of out the window, so to speak.
Right, no scale here, no sense of yeah, I love it. I love the shadows of the vines create their own sort of pattern behind
The
it.
pattern of the shingles underneath that.
Yeah, and the lines of them.
Good. Right.
Wonderful. Yeah, I love texture photos. I don't know what it is about them, but I love them. I think part of it is because especially textures like this, they are very, what's the word? Um, um,
I don't know.
uh, not not predictable, right? So not the pattern of these vines is not something that uh, you could just sort of create with a yeah it's not a pattern in that sense of like repeating triangles or repeating arches like the stoop picture, right? The pattern is sort of
It's
uh
kind of like the Euro drawings. Have you seen those where uh, you draw lines and you connect them, and then you fill in spaces with color, and uh, so it's non-representational.
uh-huh.
Moves on to the.
What did you call them? I didn't catch that.
I believe it's neuro art. Neuro is a word for that. I have to ask my wife.
Oh
She'll
no, I
tell me.
don't know it. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a little examination in neuroanatomy.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, like neurons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually have a book of
Of course you do.
not yeah, there's a well, let me stop screen sharing. This is the last one. So we will um well, let's finish this. Yeah, no, this was has been a great set of pictures. I love them. They make me happy.
Good.
And
Yes, from one walk around. It's,
yeah, so they're all from one walk. I love it. That means that there's a kind of a unity there.
there's a certain ongoing. The light is the same
This right.
in all the pictures, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. Apart from like the angles of the shadows and stuff, but the
Well, I'm
quality
more
of quality.
ambitious. I would get up early in the morning and go and take pictures at 6 in the morning when the or 7 when the sun is just coming up because the light's very dramatic then.
Mm. Hmm. I think I
Wow,
had
again.
I think I have um the book I was re- referencing. Is it up there? Yeah, there it is. Hold on one sec. Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, we'll just carry on without Rodrigo.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Here I'm back. This is called Look at that.
Right. Very nice. Yeah.
Put that next to your picture.
Right. You change the color of the background a little bit, and it's could be the same picture.
Yeah. So this is called The Beautiful
Beautiful
Brain.
brain. Okay.
And it's this guy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like
And
him.
yeah.
So
And
these are drawings. These are
these are
all.
drawings, yes. His name is Santiago Ramon y Cajal, and he made these drawings by looking into a microscope.
Huh.
Talk
Oh,
about
no.
lenses. So he this is him copying what he's seeing in the microscope. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
And these were historical because it was the first time I believe that that neurons were depicted. And they his these drawings that he made, and when was he doing this? Oh yeah, he this is like in the 19th century, so 1800s.
The Spanish
Um,
guy?
yes, he's I'm gonna read this. Santiago Ramón y Cajal, 1852 to 1934, the father of modern neuroscience and a Nobel laureate. Um, let's see, I'm trying to see. I don't see where um, that it says where he's from, so I'm not sure. But his these images are still used as references. Um,
Huh.
so so it's a wonderful example of art and
Whoa.
science. So
Interesting.
I can't imagine sitting at a microscope and drawing that. Yeah. Anyway, oh, this one's cool too. I could just be here for hours showing you this.
I
But yeah.
wonder how he did that. Did he look at a microscope and do it freehand or with his other eye, or
Yeah, I think
would he go back and forth? Or
that's a great question. I don't know.
I like to see him at work.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I'm guessing that he would look, then draw and look and draw. I don't know. But yeah, yeah, kind of full circle to lenses, which was how we
Nice.
started talking about.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, this has been a great talk.
Well, I thank you. This
Yeah,
brought things to my mind here, so
nice.
making me more mindful of my photography. This is good.
I
Make
love
me
it.
think about it.
I love it.
I
And
do it kind of intuitively now. You know,
mm,
it's but it's good to really to be more analytical about it. What
mm,
am I doing? What am I trying to do? Rather than
mm.
what am I feeling I want to do?
Well, I love the yeah, what you said about it doesn't make you happy. Because maybe, I mean, I tend to be more analytical, but I maybe I should be less analytical and more feeling.
Yeah, but you write stuff,
That's true.
and you have to be more analytical to write stuff. You can't
Hmm.
be totally imaginative when you're writing because it'll come out nonsense. Perhaps I don't know. Haven't thought
Yeah,
about it.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Just to think about.
Yes. A lot to think about. Well, I'm going to stop recording
Okay.
and we will be back with more after next week.
After these words from our sponsor.
Right.
Okay. Adios.